Hey, hey guys, gals, and non-binary pals. It's me, Christopher. I'm here at my house, in the garden, and I just wanted to, well, there's other things I wanted to point out, but one thing I want to point out was Chance. Here's Chance. Hey, yeah, he's tired from his walk, and he likes to sit here under the tree. I like to sit here too, but he likes to sit here when I'm out here doing gardening. And yeah, there's Chance. Oh, look at this. Look at this. All right, the bird of paradise is almost done. And the fuchsia, they'll be going in the summer. But this guy, this cactus, see, I have it growing in this kind of like wooden, it's like redwood, right? And there's like a strap that holds it together. And these things they just love it. They really like these pots. I had another one in a redwood pot for a while until it rotted away. But this is the epiphyllum. This is the orchid cactus. These are real pretty. See how it blooms, like the leaf? See the ribs of the leaf? Well, one of those ribs, if not all, at some point will have a bloom on them. And here's some more of it, down here. Look at all the... and I let it go. Like, I let this grow. I got this palm tree here. Sorry. I let this guy grow all the way down to the bottom here. Like, it went up from up there all the way down to the ground almost. And it still has some more blooms here. This one already bloomed. These all bloomed. Those will all, fall off and stuff. There's really not much blooms back here to show you. But you see how... you see how big I let it get. And it's just a hanging plant. You see the palm tree how it's growing up there, here. The palm trees. I did, excuse me. I've done videos about that in my, before, right? The palm trees with the cycad and how they're specific. Anyway, the point of this video was to point out, this one's really matured. I like how this palm tree, I don't know if you can see that, right? And you got that palm tree on the other side. That's a 3. See, that has 3 because it's the front door. And then this one and all the others have 2. I know, I feel like I already did a video about it. But anyway, so, between the street and my house, the barrier is this wooden fence, right? So I planted this vine on it, or shrub, or what is it? It's really viney. I consider it a vine. This South African honeysuckle. And it has these really pretty flowers, in the early spring, and it flowers again in the fall with these kind of, it looks like a honeysuckle. And there isn't a single flower on it right now, which is unfortunate, but its leaves are really attractive. The new green leaves, the established, older leaves, and I've just been keeping it like this fence, right? So mind you, so you see the vine, right? The fence is probably like, well, that's not even, yeah, so the fence is way low. Like the fence, You know, the fence is way down here. I couldn't find it, but I did this all the way up, right? Sorry, right? Like so, it does the same thing. It goes all the way down at an angle. Well, I need to trim a little bit right there, but it's supposed to go at an angle, at the same angle of the fence, and meet up with the house. And I do need to trim it. I didn't trim it right here because it was blooming a lot, so that's why it has that little bump right there. But otherwise it would just be like right there, below the roof, and it would go all the way up. And yeah, no, I really like this plant, and I've been trying to keep it. I need to trim it. I've been trying to keep it off of, the neighbor's deal. They can enjoy the privacy with it above the fence, but they don't have to deal with all the other part. But yeah, I think you can see in this video how nice this plant can be as a shrub, or as a vine, or in a espalier, as I would call it, because that's what I did. I did like kind of that French way of like, it would grow up and it would grow sideways, along the fence. And then once it got to that point, I would then, cut it back to the fence and keep it not more than like a foot away from the fence. And, down there where the older version of it is, it's nice and thick, and it's moved its way up about halfway. See, it's bushy from the bottom down to the top. But over here where this newer, I planted this one a little newer. It's like, I think I planted that one before college, and this one like after college. I mean, that's how I describe it. But so it's still filling in, it's kind of filling down there. And the middle here, they're still kind of filling in. But I want that nice, compact, full green hedge. But, like, what is it? See this fence? This is the fence height, right? Right, you see that? So you see how it meets a vine? The fence goes down at an angle at that same height. So the vine is like maybe like a whole foot above it, right? Like, some people do like the little lattice deal, but like, I was like, screw it. Like, why spend the money on all that when I can just have it grow it and do it by itself? And so, yeah. I gotta trim it. I gotta trim some of it. It's getting on the neighbor's yard and on the neighbor's fence. I gotta keep it off of that. And then the higher parts, especially into the roof of the house, we don't want it doing any of that like it did. It did that when I was in college, and there's nothing you can do about it now except keep it in control. And I told my father, I said, you gotta, in the summer and in spring, you gotta trim that hedge like every week. You gotta be out there and trimming it, because that's what I do. I'm constantly out here. I like my hand trimmers, and I'm trimming that off, trimming that off, trimming that off, trimming that off, trimming that off. Being mindful of flower spikes, right? This is a seed spike, but like, I would trim everything green to a certain point, unless it looked like that kind of looks like a flower spike there, unless it looks like a flower spike. And then, mind you, when it flowers, right? So if this was a flower, below the flower, like it sends off these big new shoots, big green shoots, big healthy shoots right below the flower. So the other thing I do is when it does flower, I come through and I cut each shoot off on either end and force it to branch out laterally, and then I cut the flower off soon as soon as it's done. I don't need my seedlings of it. But it's been doing well. It's a good barrier plant. I like it. Look at the wall of the house. See the wall of the house? And then you have that vine. Thick, green, all the way up. Good barrier plant. Perfect. And then I also have this, the Plumbago capensis. There's even a little flower right here. See a little flower? It's like tubular. And they do it in these big clusters with like a whole bunch of, it's a big, what do you call it? Inflorescence. A big inflorescence of flowers in this like kind of cluster the size of like your hand. If you could cup it in your hand, And anyway, I planted this. I planted, let's see. That one didn't survive there. So it was 1, 2 didn't survive, 3 didn't survive, 4 didn't survive, 5 didn't survive. So from where this cactus on over, it was supposed to be all Plumbago. That's what I wanted. And I would have kept it a little shorter. Maybe like that, right? So you could see the roses in the back, because we had those pink roses that there used to be a big hedge of these roses. Most of them have died, but so anyway, this is my other South African plant, and we're managing with it. And my sister planted that tree, which it's her tree. And then we have a little citrus that my sister bought my mother for Christmas that's been struggling. I don't know, I water it. I've been trying to do this little border around it. It keeps, whatever. The dog, and it's just not doing what I, and it keeps sending up these suckers, and they keep cutting them off. But I want this part to grow. I don't know. I think what they need to start to do with citrus nowadays, it's like start growing it from seed. Right? Like just do it from seed. Grafts are great. Grafting is great. But like a seedling can just grow better, I think, than like taking a seedling and grafting something onto it. I don't know. It's just my dad keeps asking, like, we planted this 3 years ago. When is it going to do something? I'm like, I've tried. We fertilized it. I've been fighting with this Bermuda grass around it. With the vinegar and Epsom salt. It's been working. Somewhat, but I just, the whole point of the Plumbago, right, was to have a barrier. I like my neighbors, right? My neighbors are fine, but I think it's nice to have like a barrier between each other, just like a privacy barrier, just like a polite barrier. And since he built this nice fence that him and my dad half paid for, I thought it would be nice to have a nice shrubbery in front of it, with those great roses, they could get cut back and everything. They're not pushing on the fence. And it's the same thing in the backyard, but I don't know. You tell me. Do you think a landscape is better without or with, planned out what do you call them? Like a blocking. I'm spacing on the word right now, but so, all right. So if you have a fence, right? You have a fence. Do you just keep the fence by itself, or do you plant maybe a sequence of varying sizes and shapes of plants? Maybe one row right at the fence line, 2 row right below it, 3 row in front of it, and then you have a I can't think of the word, but it's like a fail safe, right? Like you have multiple bushes giving multiple modes of privacy, and I think we don't think about that anymore in the landscape. It's like we put up the fence or the wall and we're like, we're done. But like, no, like you need plants to be there to absorb different, sounds and wavelengths and smells and whatever. So I think having, a neighborly fence, nice fence, with a nice hedge, with a nice bushes in front of it, with something else in front of it. I think and that's what I've been working on here. I've been working on getting this. See this border? This border is going to come out. It's going to come further out, and it's going to meet up. I want it to meet up with the corner of the house and go all the way out to the street or whatever. So all that grass is all gone, and then we can just focus on this. I might even try planting another plumbago in between these two trees and let the trees grow up above it, right? I did put this callistemon over here. And they, I've seen those get like 5 or 6 feet tall, so we'll see. We'll talk about that spot later. But yeah, I hope you get more of an understanding of like my thought process when it comes to like landscaping and like bordering and screening. I want my landscapes to be non-intrusive to anybody, but I want the plants to benefit both parties. And so far, I haven't had any complaints about my landscaping plants from this neighbor or the others. So, yeah. Thank you for your attention to this plant matter. Fuck you, Trump.